I've experienced a lot of strange things while traveling, but nothing prepared me for Finland. A place where everyone lives in silence, but there's a competition to see who can stand to be naked in a boiling sauna without fainting. Where people trust each other so much that they leave their bikes unlocked on the street, and there they are, untouched, for days. As a good young man, I tried to start a conversation with a lady on the subway. She looked at me as if I had farted right next to her. And just when you think you've seen it all, there you are. Naked, sweating at 90 degrees, next to a 70-year-old man with a dripping mustache who invites you to jump into a frozen lake. And you jump. In this video, you'll discover the 7 most absurd things that Finns think are normal. And I, as a non-Finnish, found it all strange. But hey, it's not just about the naked bathing, you know? But calm down, my friend. So come with me, and I'll tell you everything. 1. Total silence. I thought I had gone deaf. I swear, I got on the subway in Helsinki and no one was saying anything. No conversation, no loud music, no, "Hey driver," just the sound of doors opening. And absolute silence. In Finland, silence is not discomfort. It's respect. It's like everyone has made a silent pact. Let's not get in each other's way. I'm a non-Finnish guy, a smiling, friendly guy wanting to chat with the lady next to me. And her? She looks at you as if you've just farted next to her. Yes, in Finland, speaking loudly in public is practically a cultural crime. You talk to someone at the grocery store? It sounds weird. You greet the cashier enthusiastically? He gets uncomfortable. You say hi to your neighbor? He pretends not to hear. And the worst part? Maybe he really didn't hear it, because I don't think anyone there really talks to anyone. But don't worry, it's not coldness, it's a habit. In their minds, invading someone else's space, even with a nice question, is rude. In Brazil, you get in line for bread and you already know that Tião from the bakery was cheated on by his wife. In Finland, you only hear the sound of bread being cut, and that's it. Now, you know the funniest thing? At first, this silence seems deafening, but after a while, you get used to it. You start to think it's good. You realize that their silence isn't empty, it's comfort. It's as if each one has their own little world, and everyone respects that. But then, you go back to your country, you leave the airport, get on a bus, and someone is already on the phone shouting, "It was that girl, Jessica!" That's when the culture shock becomes real. 2. Trust and go. The first time I got on a bus in Finland, I thought I was doing something wrong. There was no turnstile. There was no ticket collector. There was no one watching. And I just got on. I waited for someone to stop me. Nothing. The driver didn't even care about my existence. But no one stopped me. No one asked anything. No one even looked. And then I realized the system there is based on trust. You buy the ticket on the app or on a machine at the bus stop and get on the bus as if everything was already sorted. It's that simple. Every now and then, a random inspector shows up to check. But that's not the rule. It's the exception. And the most impressive thing? People pay, even when no one is looking. It's cultural. It's not just about transportation. It's about a way of life. They grow up learning that you don't need someone to tell you to. You just do what's right. Because it's right. Now imagine this somewhere else. That in certain regions that you know well, many people already take the bus without paying, jumping the turnstile, or even the window. This trust is evident in everything. On the street, bicycles are unlocked. People leave their backpacks on tables while they go to the bathroom. No one runs to hide their cell phones. No one looks suspiciously. It's strange at first. You feel like you're in the middle of a social experiment. But after a while, you start to loosen up. You start to trust yourself. And without realizing it, you start to act the same way. It's as if the environment shapes your behavior, a place where no one watches you. But even so, you don't want to make a mistake, not out of fear, but out of respect. 3. Alone and happy. Have you ever seen someone happy about being alone? Like, really happy? In Finland, this is more common than a sauna, and there are saunas at gas stations. They don't just like being alone, they need it. Having a cabin in the middle of nowhere, with no signal, no neighbors, no one, is the Finnish equivalent of dream come true, and I'm not exaggerating. Some people disappear into the woods for days, alone, without a cell phone, with a smile on their face, and a mosquito repellent in the backpack. At first, it seems strange. You feel like asking, is everything okay? But it is. They are not running away from anyone. They are going to find their own peace. There, silence is therapy. And solitude is self-care. They don't think it's strange to eat alone, walk alone, spend the whole weekend alone. On the contrary, they think it's strange that people need people all the time. And the strangest thing, you start to like it too. On the first day, the silence is uncomfortable. In the second, you get used to it. In the third, you start to think the world is too noisy. There are no demands. There are no interruptions. There is no social burden of shall we do something. If you want to stay in your corner all day, no one will think you are sad. They will think you are at peace. It is a different logic. Another rhythm, another way of living. And you know what? It works. Oh, send this video to that friend who says he loves being alone, but keeps opening Instagram just to see if anyone remembered he exists. Because one thing is solitude, another is neediness with a nice name. 4. Dead reactions. You tell him you're going to be a father, that you won the lottery, or that you caught COVID for the 4th time, and the Finn's reaction? Interesting. Without changing his tone, without raising his eyebrow, without looking away, it's as if the world could end, and he would just respond with a slight nod. Like, okay. At first, it drives you crazy. You keep trying to figure it out. Does he hate me? Did I say too much? Or is he a robot and no one warned me? But no, it's just their way. They don't exaggerate, neither too much nor too little. They don't shout, they don't get excited, they don't dramatize. And the craziest thing is, they don't even try. And you know what's the funniest thing? Over time, you start to respect that. Because they don't fake it either. They don't force a smile out of politeness. They don't say they like something just to be nice if a Finn says, I like it to you. You can believe it. It's real, it's sincere, it's what they really think. It's a kind of silent sincerity, dry, direct, no beating around the bush. And the more you live with it, the more you realize that forced enthusiasm that many people have sometimes means absolutely nothing. A friend of mine told me that he once invited a Finn to his birthday party. The guy immediately said, "Number." No excuses, no beating around the bush, just, "I can't. I already have another commitment, and we're not even that close." Man. That's the equivalent of a kick in the balls for a Latino. But for them, just be honest. They don't tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what they think. They don't react much, but when they do, it carries weight, and then you stop looking for applause and start listening for real. 5. Nobody steals anything. You know that feeling that something is wrong, but you don't know what? That's what I felt when I saw the first bike in Finland without a lock. Beautiful, brand new, in the middle of the sidewalk, alone. As if to say, I'm here, but nobody's going to take me. And nobody did. Hours later, it was still there. The next day, in the same place, impeccable, untouched, calm. And then, without meaning to, you start to realize the whole country is like this. People leaving their cell phones on the coffee table while they go to the bathroom. Children playing in the street without an adult around. Expensive coats hanging outside the store as if they were just decoration. And do you know what happens? Nothing. No one takes them. No one runs. No one takes advantage. It's as if everyone had an invisible agreement. Let's trust each other, and that's it. And the weirdest thing is that it works. In Finland, fear is not the rule. It's respect. It's not surveillance that keeps the system going. It's people's behavior, and this comes as a shock to outsiders. because your instinct screams it's going to be bad, but it never does. You walk around with your cell phone in your hand without anxiety. You put your backpack down without fear. You stop your bike without thinking twice. And when you see, you start trusting too. You change. The environment changes you. It's as if the country was saying, relax. No one here is trying to rip anyone off. And that is wonderful. The only problem is coming back untrained. Imagine me, all happy, leaving my cell phone on the coffee table. Right on the beach, promenade, and 15 seconds later, I'm already crying. Because I still have 10 installments left on my iPhone, which is worth a kidney somewhere else. 6. Crazy competitions. Some countries organize soccer championships. Others organize marathons, races, Olympics. Finland? They organize competitions for carrying your wife on your back while running through mud. Yes, this exists, and it is taken seriously, in terms of rules, official time, podium, and the prize for the winner is calculated in liters of beer proportional to the weight of the wife. I'm not making this up, it's real. But wait, it doesn't stop there. They also have a cell phone throwing competition. Yes, you grab your old cell phone, preferably a Nokia, and throw it as far as you can. The world record was broken by a guy who was on a call with the operator, probably. There's also the swamp race. You wade into a swamp up to your knees and run. Why? Good question. But they love it. Oh, and there's also a sit in the sauna for the longest time without fainting competition. Yes, that used to be a sport too, but it stopped after it became a police case. And the most impressive thing? They don't do it for fun, they do it with pride, seriously, with the event's t-shirt and organized fans. And you, as a foreigner, wonder, are they joking and I just don't get it? But no, they really enjoy this craziness. It's Finnish humor, dry, weird, and charming. While there are people who need millions in infrastructure to have fun, they only need a swamp, an old cell phone, and someone willing to climb on their own husband. 7. Naked ice sauna. You enter a wooden cabin, hot, dark, almost 90 degrees. There is steam coming out of the walls. You can barely see straight. And then you realize that everyone is naked. Man, woman, elderly person, co-worker, naked. And the worst part? No one cares. In Finland, this is just another Tuesday. For them, the sauna is like a living room. It's where you relax, where you talk, where you settle business, naked. I went in wearing a towel, of course. Ashamed, trying to maintain my dignity. And a Finn looked at me with a look of, why is this guy dressed? Because yes, in their logic, being naked is respect, showing that you're clean without hiding anything. Literally, but in fact, I forgot to shave. It was just the Atlantic forest down here. Ha 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 ha. And as if that weren't enough, after sweating buckets in the sauna, comes the second part of the ritual, jumping into a frozen lake. That's right! You're there, your body boiling. And suddenly someone opens the door and says, shall we go? You go out, running in the snow, and throw yourself into a hole in the ice, with water just a few degrees below zero. Your body goes into shock. You scream mentally. Your lungs seize up. Your soul turns around. And they? Laughing, calm, renewed. I was there, shaking, not knowing whether to be grateful for the experience or to call the ambulance. And you know what's craziest? After a few days, you understand. Because it's addictive. It's liberating. It's pure. The sauna purifies you from the inside, and the ice bath wakes up what's left. But of course, it takes a while to get used to the combo, naked, scalded, and frozen. And I confess, the scene never leaves my head. A 70-year-old man, naked, sitting next to me in the sauna, looking at me and saying, "First time?" with a smile, while sweat dripped from his mustache. Yeah, Finland really is another planet, and the sauna is the gateway. And if you enjoyed this tour of the strangest and most trustworthy country in Europe, leave a like. Because here, my friend, the only thing that can't freeze is the view algorithm. Now tell me, would you have the courage to go into a sauna naked with a man with a sweaty mustache? And then run off to jump into a frozen lake? Or during it, of course. Who knows? In Finland, everything starts with steam and can end with moans. But calm down, that's not what you're thinking, you naughty boy. It's a cold groan. Cold, you know? Ha ha! Check out the video that's appearing on the screen. Thanks, guys. And until the next cultural shock.